Hello and welcome to my channel. Gosh, it's another beautiful day here in Washington. I'm gonna do another project. I think I'm gonna do another carving. I think I'm gonna do one of those food boards. I don't know what they're called. It's a board that you put food on. I think my sister would like that. So I'm gonna make her one. Man, weather's super nice right now. It's gonna be almost 80 today, and that's pretty great. So let's get going on the carved food board. Today I'm going to be making a charcuterie board. Charcuterie. Yes, something you put cheese and crackers on. I'm going to be using this end of the board, maybe 3 feet. On one side, it will be cheese and crackers. On the other side, it will be some fancy flower arrangement or something, so that you can hang this on the wall as art. So then, Easter comes around. This is because we just had Easter. When Easter comes around, you can turn it over and you can put cheese and crackers on it. All right, let's get started. Right now, gotta cut this. Make sure your blade depth is right. You never wanna run your blade all the way out when you're making a cut. This is 1 inch thick. I should have my blade out 1 1/8 inches. Okay? You'll cut yourself if you do it that way. I only have these small batteries. I need to get the bigger ones, otherwise, because this requires a big battery. So here is my line that I'm going to use. I'm going to put a hole in it so you can hang it. Also, it's for, you can grip it. I might put a hole in this end too, maybe. We'll see. Oh, look at it. Can't you imagine a climbing road or something on this side? But maybe some sunflowers, or I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'm gonna cut this circle on the bandsaw. Oh, by the way, I hate this bandsaw. Actually, it's really good for small stuff. I need a big bandsaw. I'm old enough to where I should have graduated to big boy stuff rather than this stuff that's made for girls or whatever. The worst part is, I didn't even buy that at a garage sale. I think I paid full price for it. I don't know, it works okay. So anyway, this is what we got. It's kind of nice, I guess. Good angle. Need to cut this hole. So let's get that going. I have no idea what this is doing out in the shop. This is a power detector. You can put in a socket and tell whether it's powered up or not. I've been looking for this for a year. Found it today. Caw, caw. Okay, so this is kind of the most random video. I just discovered something that is growing in my shop. A fungus of sorts. So this thing here, it's alder, and it's just a piece of alder that I grubbed up out of the pile. We cut down a tree a couple months ago, and that was part of it. So I looked, I just noticed it's growing that. Wow, that could be edible. It's not one of the hard ones. This is a soft one. Actually, I think you're supposed to not eat things that are growing on trees. A good rule of thumb is don't eat mushrooms you don't know exactly what they are. They will kill you. All right, where are we? Cutting this hole, that's right. So, this thing's 10 inches across, probably around 5 would do. All right, so I'm gonna give you a pro tip. If I punch all the way through this, it will blow the wood out the back. So I'm gonna go until I can see through the hole. Go to the back side and finish up the hole. See how I did that? That way, this thing's perfection. Yeah. Okay, now I've got to flatten this. By the way, if you don't have one of these, it's a hand planer. These things are fantastic. So, you know, I've been doing this for, I don't know, 40 some years, 45. And I always used to just sand things. This changed that whole game. Batteries are good. You need a big battery for this too. This hole is not super smooth. The file. Not the best. I'm gonna do sandpaper. Well, I have sandpaper, but I also have this. I'm gonna give it a try. I think this thing is for metal. It'll work for wood. Yeah, it does sand. Doesn't seem like it's doing much to this in here. Yeah, it's getting there. Yeah. That's pretty good. I'll probably end up doing sandpaper. I mean, look, it's just getting shinier and shinier. All right, so I had to wait for the batteries to charge on this. That's one thing I don't like about it. I'm gonna get that with the sander because it looks like I would have to take this whole thing down for it to get that. That side came out real nice. There's only a few spots down here that missed. You want to take off as little as possible. Okay, starting to rain, gotta get it back inside. So I always thought this was kind of a dumb thing that I keep seeing on the interwebs. And then I tried it, and I kind of like it. It really does help see, especially when your vision is failing. You can see where you haven't sanded yet. Okay, so there you go. There's some advice. Okay, so we have this angle here that I don't really like. Kind of seems unnatural, like it's not supposed to be there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, one of my favorite tools, and make it look like this a little bit. And you don't know, maybe I can do this and maybe. Okay, so it's not bad. It's just that it needs to go in and out. So I'm probably going to take it to the bandsaw, the crummy bandsaw, and make this a little jagged looking. I'll be back. Okay, so I've got this kind of cut in here. Doesn't look the same. In the old days, I would have done that with a chainsaw. I probably should still do it with the chainsaw. It'd be a lot easier. I've got an even better tool than this. Huh, that's right. That's better. Believe it or not, that is better. Okay, good. We can get rid of this thing. Okay. Now to sand. Start with a 100 grit. Why am I not starting like with 80 or 40 grit? It's because this thing is already pretty smooth. Okay, so this was to be the side with the painting on it. However, look at this. I think this is flat. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's cupped. So I don't know if this is gonna work. Cheese and crackers on this side. The painting on this side. If you put cheese and crackers on here, is everybody gonna complain about this? Put cheese and crackers, it doesn't move. It's nice and stable. So I sand it down to 220, and then I'm going to put an epoxy on here. I will show you that right now. I think. Let me see. Food on this side, painting on this side. I don't need epoxy on this side, but if you're gonna clean the board, you're gonna need epoxy on that. I know what you're thinking. Oh, he's gonna put that clear, like super high gloss. I am, but it's not gonna end up that way. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. And I think I'm going to do that right now. All right, so you probably should heat this up. I'm not going to. Heck, it's almost 60 degrees in here. I only want to mix up as much as I'm going to use. A little more than that. I'm pretty good at guessing how much I'm going to use, by the way. Okay, I've also only have 1 cup. So I'm gonna mark this cup. This is just a measuring cup. This is a mixing cup. This is a measuring cup. Be sure to wear gloves. When you're doing this, it's very messy. I know what you're saying. Why are you showing us this? I don't care about mixing epoxy. Everyone has mixed epoxy. 1 part to 1 part, and you're done. No, not today. Today we're learning a little trick. A big trick. Actually, it's a trick that I have never seen anybody use. And I'm very surprised by that. I'm talking about these guys that pour epoxy tables all the time would totally benefit from this. Isopropyl alcohol. The Italians call it isopropyl, something like that. I just made that up. I don't know if they actually call it that. I'm going to mix in the same amount of epoxy. Didn't really say that very clearly. 1/3 part A, 1/3 part B, and 1 part isopropyl alcohol. Okay, stir. So what this does is it makes it very thin. And also it makes it to where it will not have any bubbles in it. Get that out of here. And I think now I really am gonna go get my gloves. What is this? This is alcohol, right? Okay. So you're supposed to mix this stuff for 2 minutes or 3 or something like that. You don't need to mix it that long when you have isopropyl alcohol in it. Because the alcohol mixes in with the epoxy. By the way, that's the best way to clean up epoxy messes is isopropyl alcohol. It really is the only way. Now I am going to get my gloves. Okay. Okay, now why do I want this so thin? I'm going to show you why. This stuff will go into every little crevice and crack. It also doesn't pool. So hopefully, if I do it right, it will sink right into the wood. And that's really what I want, because I want that stuff to sink right in. I also don't understand these guys who pour out 5 gallons of epoxy on a project that they only need a gallon for. That stuff is expensive. What? Okay. I guess if you only learn one thing from my videos, I hope that it's not to waste. And that's wasteful. Before I'm done, I'm going to put this up on stilts, because I don't want it to dry with a puddle underneath it. That will make it stick to the ground. I mean, I have this paper here, and that's fine. Let's see here. Want to get all this top surface, and I could be using a brush, but then I'd have to throw the brush away, right? Because it's epoxy. See how it's all sunk in? There's no pulls. It's all just sitting on it. It's all into the surface. Thought I had a hole in my glove for a second. Don't want that. I have enough here. You know what I might do? Probably a mistake to do that. But I think I might have enough. I think I might have enough here on this side. It might be a mistake, but I might flip it over and do the other side. Because this, look how good. There's nothing left. See that? It's actually amazing. And in theory, I should be able to sand this down to 300 grit. And it should be waterproof. And then also it won't be, you know, that ugly, super shiny. I don't think anybody likes that. But maybe some people do. I don't know. All right, let's do some of this. Okay. I'm gonna raise that up off. Say, what did I just do? I put the spacers underneath the paper, so that only paper will be stuck to this. And this stuff went a lot farther than I thought. Okay, so I'm just gonna wipe that on there and let it dry. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Nothing left in the cup. It's almost all gone. And I don't have enough. So I'm gonna have to mix up a little bit more and put that on. But you don't need to see that. I already showed you. Okay, I think I've got this laid out. So this is gonna be my carving. Once again, I do stencils so that I can make sure that the carving is exactly where I want it. Okay, I'm ready to put my 3M 70 Super 77. If you put too much on there, you're gonna be sorry. See how that's sticking to my hand? It really shouldn't. All right. Gotta make sure I have the right side. This is where I want my carving. Okay, so, you know, normally I would cut the stencil out, right? This I don't have to do that because I'm carving it. I'm just gonna use a router and route every line on here. By the time I'm done, this thing will all be just a mess. That's just how it is. but that's how I'm doing it. So wish me luck. Okay, I just need to get started on one end or the other. I think I'll start here. I've got this in my vise. I don't know if you can see that, but it's in a vise. This is not my favorite. This is not my favorite router in the world, but it's small, it's light, it's easy to adjust. So I'm gonna do this whole outline, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do some like sanding in between, some removal of some more material, make it look good. All right. All right, I think that we can take this off now. I hope. Looks like I'm gonna have to get some new paper. Look at all this junk. This never happened to me as bad as this. Look at that. That's the, there's a plastic coating on this. It's for like wrapping meat or something. Has a plastic coating on it, and that plastic coating came off in places. Like really bad. I want to figure that out. Anyway, yeah. I think I'll just sand all this stuff off here. Take some sort of wheel to it. I'm not super happy with the way the router ends. The bottom is always sort of squared off. It's like that. It's square on the end instead of super pointy like I would like it to be. All right, I'll get this cleaned up and we'll get back to it. You know, sometimes I forget how nice this alder carves. I mean, look at these strips. You just, you know, it's sort of a soft wood, and you can just, in one pass, carve this stuff off nice. Of course, right where I wanted to show you, there's a big old gap, big old, I don't know, knot or something. It's hard to carve that. I mean, but look at that. Heck, I could have carved these whole leaves just with a chisel. I wouldn't want to do that. It's a pain in the neck. A lot easier to do with a router. Yeah, I haven't done any actual carving in a long time. But that stuff just carves like butter. It's nice. I'll show you what this is all about. Probably should get some actual carving chisels. Probably help. So I'm gonna have to sand all this down once I get it carved. And then I will coat everything again with epoxy, because remember, this is a charcuterie board. Charcuterie. And so everything's got to be food grade. And epoxy is. I just love that stuff. This is so easy, so nice. And last project, I did the golf ball treatment, and these need the golf ball treatment. I need that to be out of there. I have to work on this before I do the golf ball treatment on that. I'm going to show you the golf ball treatment on this though. Anyway, that's what that's gonna look like. It's pretty cool. You know, after I've cleaned this thing off and I put some water on it to see what I was actually looking at, it's pretty cool. There's a lot of, I don't know if the camera picks it up. But I was thinking, oh, maybe I didn't make it deep enough, but I think I did. I really want it to be a little less deep than the trivet. Trivet, if you're French or whatever. So, I need to finish that out. I'm just about done here. One of the worst parts about having cords on everything. I really wish I could do everything cordless, but alas, it is not to be. All right, I'm gonna do the rest of this and I'll be back. All right, so I have this idea. That's what always gets me in trouble. I'm gonna put some black in here. Probably should do brown. What this will do is it'll highlight all this. The other thing it'll do is it'll tell me how well that epoxy is working, because I don't really know how well that epoxy sheds dirt, color. Come on, get in there. Now I probably should let this dry, and I should probably take it off with sanders, but I'm not going to do that because, well, I am impatient. Well, it doesn't come off perfectly. Well, I could say this is black walnut. Okay, so I need some water, I guess. Probably need isopropyl alcohol. Hey, look at that. It's coming off. Oh, look at that. Okay. That's looking better. I have no idea why the sandpaper left this dark spot on here. Probably because I hit it with a chisel earlier. Something like that. I mean, it'll sand off. Just strange. Okay, so I'm gonna have to hit this with a 100 grit. There's 220, it isn't doing the job. All right, so this is the part of the video where I'm looking for pity from everybody. I cut myself with this sharp thing. So I was like this in safety, and then there was some stuff on here, so I went like that and hit the end of that. And it cut me. Cut me pretty good. If you've never done a field dressing, electrical tape, one over the top to seal the wound, and then a couple rounds. That's it. All right, so I'm not super happy with the way that black came out. And it also has altered the color. So this is how it's supposed to look. And now it looks sort of dark-ish. So now I think I've got to take off another layer. And that is what I'm going to do, which I am not very happy about. Because I could have painted this on here and let it look like that. Or I could have just left it carved and I probably would have been happy with that. But the way this is, I'm not super happy with it. And I can't get that black out of there. Okay, it's back to square one. I just took it with the old hand planer. This thing's fantastic. Took me like 2 minutes. Turns out that carving was micro thin, not very deep. So, I've got to, what do I have to do? I'll get this thing smooth again, and then I may recarve it. I didn't really like the carving. Maybe I will paint it. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Okay, so there's something I want to talk to you guys about, and it has to do with this epoxy coat that I'm using. That's wet. See? And I just did both sides. So this side is also wet. I also don't worry about any dust that gets in there. If you've ever done epoxy before, that's the worst thing. Dust can get in there. I mean, it is just ruin your whole thing. I don't worry about the dust because it's soaking into the wood. Yeah, I was able to do both sides at one time. That's unheard of in epoxy. So anyway, just letting you know, there's a better way. Well, I've decided to try it again. Need to put my flour over here so that I can transfer it to here. I put another coat on this. I don't know if you can see that. So there's this streakiness, right? That's everywhere where the epoxy has soaked in. I kind of find this interesting that that thin epoxy, it just keeps getting soaked up by parts of this wood, parts that are punky, parts that are taking more and more of that epoxy. I might end up doing several coats of that junk so that it soaks in, but it won't look like this when I'm done. It will look like that when I'm done. This is actually just one coat. So I've stripped off the flour on this using my little hand plane. So anyway, now I've got to redraw this. So believe it or not, I'm going to learn from last time And I'm gonna mark out the lines that I'm actually using, because there was a lot of lines on here last time that I didn't want to use, and I was confused as to which lines I was going to. So I am marking only the lines that I plan to do. So I do learn. It's just not very fast or well either. Okay. I will see you out in the shop when I'm done marking this out. Okay, let's do it again. Okay. Once again, this stuff doesn't come off very easy. I'm gonna have to chisel it off, and that probably is the thing that takes the most time. But this time, I think I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm just going to start chiseling, because I know what I want from last time. Hopefully I won't cut myself this time. I made myself a new chisel. Use a 5/8 butterfly bit. Well, if you want 5/8. This is a custom handle made just for my hand. Yeah, I need to write my name on here or something. Pretty nice. All right. All right, so I've got this thing carved again, I think. Make sure you use, I'm gonna wipe this all down. Make sure you use alcohol. It evaporates right away. So that's the great thing about alcohol. So what I'm saying is if you use water, you're gonna have trouble with trying to put your epoxy on. So I wanna put that epoxy on today, right away actually. And so if I spray water on there, I'm gonna have to wait a whole day for the thing to dry, because you can't just put epoxy on anything that has water on it. This thing has to be like uber dry. Actually, I'm digging that. That looks pretty good. I'm not sure what all this is though. Look at this white stuff. It must be from, that could be That could be just from sanding. That's probably just from sanding, yeah. Okay. Epoxy. Yeah, I still got a little bit of junk on here. I will probably take this in the next room and hit it with the air so that there's nothing on it. Okay, time for epoxy. Again, this is alcohol, has alcohol in it. A third. There is paint in that brush. I've got to clean that up before I continue to use this brush. How do you clean a brush that has epoxy in it? Alcohol. Of course. Yeah, I downgraded to a roller. Actually, the roller's working pretty good. Okay, good morning. This is what we have here. I'm sure you can see that it is all glossy. I didn't want it glossy at all. See all this is paper stuck on, there's paper stuck on here. All right, I want the whole thing, I don't know if you can see it, I want it to look like this, which is just basically epoxy in wood, not on wood. All right, so this is the side that food is gonna be on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sand this down, hopefully not really into the wood. I just wanna sand this down to where it doesn't look like it's epoxy. I want it to look like wood, bare wood. Of course it's not. And then this side, I will probably do the same thing, but all these little cracks in here are gonna be a pain to sand. So I'm gonna probably sand it down to about 300. And then maybe I'll put some wax on it. And I'll have a look at it and see this side, I can put that flat spray paint on there because people are not gonna be putting food on this side, only this side. This side, I do not want spray paint on. I only want epoxy because people are gonna be putting food on it. Epoxy is a food safe item. Okay. Okay, let's get started, I guess. By the way, if you don't have one of these, I think they're $19 at, can you see it? At $19 at Harbor Freight. They're pretty great. Mine I mounted below this. Has this fancy little thing that goes up and down here so that you can raise it above and lower it down. So I want to be able to put plywood or whatever over top of this at times, and sometimes I want to use that. Yeah, maybe you've seen these, maybe you haven't. I don't know. All right. So we're doing the matte clear again. Only on the side that has the art. Hope I don't run out. Oh, that looks nice now. I don't know. Can you see that? Okay. Calling that side done. I might put another coat on it. If it dries and I don't like it, then I'll put another coat. Okay. As you can see, I've got this. It's nasty. I'm going to try something new. I want it to look like this. Beautiful. Okay. But I can't use paint. That's what I'm using on that side, obviously. I'm going to try what I've been doing, which is epoxy. I'm going to thin it with isopropyl alcohol, which is fantastic. If I never told you how fantastic isopropyl alcohol is. I'm going to put a super thin layer. I'm going to wipe it on and wipe it off. It's the first time I've ever seen it done. I've never seen it done. And hopefully it will look like that when I'm done. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna put on a little bit. Clean rag. I'm gonna rub this in. A little nervous. Gotta make sure that end got it. Okay. Okay, I mixed up about twice as much as I needed, but that's okay, because it's not very much anyway. Okay, now I'm going to grab another rag. I'll wipe all that off. It's important to not let it go over the side, spill over, because if you do, it'll ruin the work you already did on the other side. Wow, that's looking pretty good. If I wanted to get more of this off of here, I could use some isopropyl alcohol. I don't know if I told you, it's the best thing ever. In fact, I'm going to give that a little bit of a try because kind of crazy that way, a little bit, because I just want to see what happens. What it does, I don't know if you saw that. See this little spot? I still have extra here. Actually, I could just use this. Wow, that's looking pretty good. I mean, amazingly good. I probably could put that isopropyl alcohol on the rag too, if I wanted. Now, I wonder how long that will take to dry. So I don't have to worry about any dust being on it. It's kind of a awesome finish. This end is a little weird. Okay. I am totally happy with that. Awesome. Okay, now you know. And now I know. Now we know. Ah, that's amazing. Okay, what's so amazing about this? I just finished this wood, and I'm not worried about dust. And it's an awesome finish. I think this is going to be a new thing for me. I think I'm going to be finishing all my wood like this. Doesn't take very much epoxy. And it's awesome, as you can see. All right. Experiment was a success. That's fantastic. Okay, for you guys who want the technical stuff, I hope that you do. This side, I said, oh, what a perfect finish. Well, when it dried, it looked pretty good still, but there were some dry spots. So if you don't know what dry spots are, I can't help you. So how I got rid of those was just some, you can sand it with some 600 grit and water, or you can do, I just did steel wool. So there you go. I wanted it flat, matte finish. So that's what I got. Thanks for watching. All right, everyone. Think we have to call this one a win. The charcuterie board and art, wall hanging, I guess. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.